I can't keep this up.
This is going to be my last video for a little while.
My last theory episode.
Well, I guess I'm done then.
So the reason why this happens is not because these people got tired of making videos, but it's because of YouTube's own design. Take a look at this. These are the analytics for this YouTube video of mine, and they show the percentage of people that clicked on the thumbnail and title of the video when they saw it. It looks quite unpredictable and weird. It's jumping up and down up until here, 55 days in. And at this point, the video got 3,776 views. Well, must have been a bad video. But take a look at what happens right here. The chart now looks magically much more stable. And at this exact point, this supposedly bad video went on to get 3.5 million views. And it's now the most viewed video on my channel. See, this chart hides one of the pieces of YouTube's design that are behind this epidemic of YouTubers quitting. And it's also why this doesn't really happen much on any other platform. We'll see how even the smallest design decisions, not just in the algorithm, but in the actual UI as well, have a huge psychological effect to the point where people who are making millions every year creating on YouTube decide to just quit. I'm Enrico, and on this channel we go behind the scenes of the design, engineering and psychology of the tech you use every day. This video is sponsored by Framer. More about them later in the video. But to understand this, let's start from something you're very familiar with. This is your YouTube feed. Not only this reveals more about your personality than a 10-hour therapy session, but what you and regular viewers don't see here is this. This little number under each video is called the outlier score. For example, this video did 8 times more views than the average video of our friend Arun, Mr. Who's the Boss. So for him, this was an outlier video. But have you noticed? The majority of you will never get to see this, but most of the videos you end up watching are just the outliers of that creator. You can see this for yourself if you want. I use an extension called vidIQ, but there are many others. I'll link some in the description. So the first thing you learn as a creator is that you need to keep pumping out outliers. And if you don't, well, your channel dies. So then, how does a video become an outlier? Well, this is where we get back to this chart. See, YouTube pushes videos based on 2 things. Watch time, or how long people watch your video, and this was solid from day 1 for this one. But then there's a second thing that the algorithm watches, click-through rate. Basically, how many people click on the video when they see it. And here's where things get weird. See, 20% one day, then 2% the next, then 15, then 0, then 5%. It's all over the place. What's happening here? Well, if you are a small creator like I was, YouTube might show your video to 20 people in a day. One day, 1 person clicks, that's 5% CTR. Next day, 5 people click out of 20, that's 25%. The day after, it might be 0%, then 50, then 35. If you don't have enough data, enough people that see your thumbnail, because your channel is small, the data for this metric becomes clouded in this very jumpy noise. And that's why it looks like this. And the algorithm itself cannot understand if this video was actually worth promoting. So what you learn as a creator is that even if you make the most banger video, it might not be picked up immediately as an outlier or even at all. Look at this. This is another video of mine. It stayed flat at 30,000 views, and then without any news happening or me changing anything about it, it jumped to 500,000. And this is also why you don't see this quitting epidemic as much on Instagram and TikTok. These platforms rely on mindlessly scrolling, so you don't have this whole click-through rate part of the algorithm. And because of this, they are much better at actually picking up good videos, outliers. And not only that, YouTube has become the biggest video platform in the world. Not social media platform, but video platform overall. It's bigger than TV, it's bigger than Netflix, and a huge part of this is that more and more people have been watching videos on TV. It's the main reason why videos have been getting longer and longer. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour long videos are very common now. And for creators, longer videos mean, well, more work. If the average TikTok or Reel takes a few minutes to a few hours to make, I spent over 80 hours making that video, researching, writing, making all the animations in After Effects. And it's not even that long. It's 16 minutes. And as a creator, what you notice is that you invest so much time and effort in every single video, in every single attempt at making it an outlier, that when it doesn't perform as you expect, first of all, it feels horrible, but you're pushed to spend even more time on it. I changed, no joke, 20 thumbnails for this one video, trying to save it, trying to save all that effort I put into it. And for this one, it worked, but I spent hundreds of hours trying to save other videos, and it just didn't. And just wait until you see how the actual UI design of YouTube makes this 10 times worse. But you might say, wait a second. Over time, creators get subscribers, and this can help avoid this randomness and bring more consistency for the creator, right? Well, no. If you're on desktop, try to go here on the left and click on all subscriptions. These are all the channels that you have subscribed to over the years. The Minecraft YouTuber I subscribed to when I was 16 probably doesn't get a view from me in 10 years, but I'm still subscribed. I have a few hundred channels here, but the ones I actually care about and watch are maybe 20. Because think about it, when's the last time you clicked on this? And this leads to something incredibly counterintuitive, which is that as a creator, I would love to get rid of half of my subscribers. If there was a button to do it, I would absolutely press it. And this is because when you post a video, YouTube starts to show it in the homepage of a small portion of your subscribers. If those people click on the video and watch it, then the algorithm pushes it to more people and to non-subscribers as well eventually. But what happens is that your subscribers might just not care about the videos you make now anymore. So when they're shown my newest video, they're just gonna ignore it, tanking the performance and taking every chance of it being an outlier. So again, as a creator, you also take note that subscribers don't matter and that sometimes they can even be a negative thing to have. But there's a whole other side to YouTube's design that makes this 10 times worse. The actual UI of YouTube and how it looks. And it might be even more important than the algorithm in influencing creator psychology and bringing people that make millions of dollars every year to quit YouTube. But first, let me show you something here. As you know, I'm a sucker for good design. And when it comes to creating websites, there are tools that allow you to create websites that, just work. And then there are tools that allow you to create websites that are absolutely beautiful. Look at this, or this one as well. These are all made with Framer, the sponsor of this video. Take a look here. This already looks insane. But the cool thing is that if I want, I can start from a template, just like this one, and make it my own in a super easy way. But I can also go crazy. I can go into the weeds of every animation, every button. Look at this cool call to action. I can double click and this is a component where I can customize each state to the pixel. Oh, and if you see something on the web you like, you can just use the HTML to Framer extension. Just click and voila, it's in Framer, ready to be edited. And then with just one click, it's on the web, a real website that people can use. You can try Framer with the link below and you can use code Enrico to get 20% off your first 3 months of Framer. And now let's get back to the video because take a look at this. This is YouTube Studio. It's the YouTube app that creators use, and on the surface, it's actually a really good analytics app. It shows you all the charts, it goes very in detail, but there are 3 main things in this design that have a huge psychological impact on creators. And the first one, it's down here. It's you guys' comments. When you open YouTube Studio, one of the main tabs you see here is the latest comments. Looks innocent, useful. Just see what people are saying under your videos. But it's the comments themselves that are the problem. Here I exported all the comments from my entire YouTube channel that I got in the last year. And I used AI to categorize them into 3 buckets: positive, neutral, and negative. 21.4% are positive, 17.1% are neutral, but 61.5% were negative comments. I can assure you one comment you'll never see is, I just watched this video and it was okay. Well, maybe except in this video, because you're probably gonna write it to troll. But comments are always from the 2 extremes. From people that really like the video or from people that really hate it. But the catch is that negative comments are always way more than positive ones because of negativity bias. Negative experiences have a stronger impact on us than positive ones. Think about it, you're far more likely to leave a 1-star review to a restaurant if you had a bad experience than leaving a 5-star review if you had a positive one. And this is exactly what's happening here. Take this other video of mine. 98.6% of people liked it versus disliked it. Really good stat. But 76.3% of the comments are all negative ones. And these comments are the first thing you see as a creator when you check your channel. But it's not the most important piece of YouTube's UI design that impacts on creator psychology. Because this is. Ask every creator, and this is probably the piece of UI that they look at the most. This is the infamous out of 10 ranking. Here's how it works. Whenever you release a new video, it gets ranked against the last 9 videos you published in real time as time passes. But the psychology behind this makes this a gamified comparison against yourself. You get a 1 out of 10, you get confetti. It feels great, everything is green, amazing. But every creator's worst nightmare is spending 20, 60, or even 100 hours making something, releasing it, and getting a 10 out of 10. You immediately get feedback that the work you spent so much time on, it's performing, well, terribly, but terribly against yourself. You see this idea of comparing against yourself everywhere in the app. Here, and here. I went from 1,000 to 100,000 subscribers in 1 year. In this part, this box becomes your best friend. Everything is a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, amazing, everything is green, everything is growing. YouTube congratulates you even. But then comes a natural phase, which is settling down. You cannot grow forever. And this is where the 1 out of 10 system is really breaking your psychology, because now anything new that you make is going to be compared to the insane growth that you just had. So you start to get 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 videos, because growth is the only thing that the system cares about. how many more views you're pulling versus your older self. And to be honest, I'm in this phase as well. Since the beginning of the year, the performance of my videos has been really slow. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You put so much work into these things, and this makes you feel awful. Until literally 3 days ago, my latest upload became an outlier. 1 out of 10, everything is green. Let's go. Now I'm pumped to make more videos and make them better, but anything new now will be compared to this hit video as well. So you can see that it's a constant state of extremes, extreme ups and extreme downs. And this goes on for year after year, but the third piece of YouTube's design that makes people quit works in an even more sneaky way, by slowly taking out creativity. This is the retention chart. It shows you how many viewers are still watching a video at a certain point in time. And it shows you some very interesting things. See this spike right here? I've shown something visual at this point in the video that people needed to look at very carefully, and many stopped or went back to watch it again. That's why there's a spike. This is an ad segment in a video. It's normal that some people want to skip ads. And your goal throughout the video is to retain as many viewers as possible until the end. Because as we learned, the watch time is one of the 2 factors that makes outliers, and you get more views. An interesting story naturally keeps people engaged. There's tensions, there's questions. Good storytelling usually means people stick around. But what happens on YouTube is that now, thanks to this chart, you have a second-by-second knowledge of how much people dropped based on what's happening in the video. You have that information, so to boost retention, you start to turn creative storytelling more into a science than an art. You're now overanalyzing and put strategically every single word to create curiosity gaps and tension in the video. Remember the intro of this video? The chart hides one of the pieces of YouTube's design that are behind this epidemic of YouTubers quitting, and it's also why this doesn't really happen much on any other platform. We'll see how even the smallest design decisions, not just in the algorithm, but in the actual UI as well, people who are making millions every year creating on YouTube decide to just quit. That's exactly what I was doing there. I planned that. Same thing here. But there are 3 main things in this design that have a huge psychological impact on creators. For the most curious, in the description you can find a full breakdown of all the storytelling and YouTube techniques I'm using for this very video. It's free, it just shows you how much is going on behind what you watch. But when you see this...
These are 7 of the strangest smartphones to ever exist. Each phone here has one thing about it that is completely unique.
Or this.
But how did he get here, and what makes his drumming so impossible? I found 6 drumming secrets that every drummer should know.
These are all things creators need to do in order to tell their story, because without it, they would lose people along the way, and the video would never become an outlier and be seen by, well, anyone at all. So while this tool is super useful, it leads to hyper-optimizing anything you make for attention. Just imagine how The Lord of the Rings would look like if they had that as well.
We just got this $1 million ring, a way to throw it into Mount Doom. But there are 6 challenges that we need to complete in the next 100 days to do so. And if we fail at any of these challenges, Sauron is gonna take over Middle-earth. And you won't believe what happens in challenge number 5, Frodo. Like, you fools. And subscribe.
So now, after all of this, you might think, wow, YouTube's design is so evil. They're burning out their creators on purpose. But while all of this is true to some degree, and these things can be improved, still, there's no other platform that lets you tell long, well-produced stories, make them immediately accessible to billions of people with no middlemen, allows you to create businesses, even gigantic ones, out of your passion for making videos and telling stories. And still, to this day, it's the only platform that pays you fairly, I think, with an almost 50-50 split on the other revenues that your videos make. YouTube channels made by a few kids in their bedroom are more culturally relevant and get 10 times more views than TV programs with hundreds of staff behind them. And while they need to address the ups and downs and burnout that creators experience, and they can do a lot more for the people that actually keep this platform alive, the truth is that, like it or not, YouTube is still the GOAT of online platform. But what is still a mess and is bound to fail if they don't do anything about it is short-form content. So that's why I set out to redesign how it works from scratch. And in the process, I uncovered the biggest secret in how we get addicted to technology. And you can learn all about it in this video right here. If you're here, you made it all the way to the end of the retention chart, so you're the best.